Thank you for coming back. Thank you for staying. My name is David. I'm an ecologist, and in 2017, my field site burned. Now I'm a fire ecologist. And as Emily said, you know you're talking to ecologists when they get excited when your field site burned. Fire, let's talk about fire tonight. Fire cooks our food, warms our homes, drives our cars. And then fire can be a terrifying force, devastating ecosystems and destroying communities. Here's my question for you for California. Do we have too much fire, too little fire, or not the right kind of fire? Clear. I could stop now. Clearly, we have too much of that fire on the right, but let's talk, we'll get to and talk about that fire on the left, okay? For 100 years, for more than 100 years in the United States, we have sought to put out every fire. Originally, the policy was to put them out by 10 a.m. the day after they ignited. We have deployed airplanes, smoke jumpers, firefighters, the best technologies, incredibly well-trained firefighting forces. We owe a deep debt of gratitude to the people who put their lives on the line to fight and defend our communities. But the fires keep getting bigger and keep getting more severe. So this is my question. What is this paradox that with all this effort put into stopping and suppressing fire, we have not, in fact, solved this problem of wildfire in our communities? There's two problems. When the forests don't burn, lots of little trees start growing in. And often it's species that are actually more flammable. So we have these incredibly dense forests all across the American West. You couple that with rising temperatures, and then when we get our periodic droughts, which we always get in California, the droughts become more intense when the temperatures are warmer, and the forests are primed to burn. Now you look at maps of California for the last 6 decades, and look at that last map. We're only halfway through this decade. And you see, decade by decade, those fire scars getting larger and larger. And all of us know from the news, when you get on the ground, that many of those fires are becoming more severe and increasingly threatening communities. We will continue to suppress and fight fire. We have what is the world's best firefighting force in CAL FIRE. And when the conditions are ripe for a bad fire, they will be there to protect communities. This is essential. But we also need to invest in new building codes, new ways of building our homes, defensible space around homes. This house was built just before the Tubbs fire burned across Sonoma County, and the fire went right over it, and essentially the house was fine. Most importantly, we actually need more fire. But we need fire on the ground, what we call prescribed fire, which is designed to manage the fuel loads, reduce the flammability of the forest, make the forest safer. And tribal communities are bringing back cultural fire, fires that reconnect communities to the land, in this case, burning under an oak tree to steward that tree for the harvesting of acorns for those communities. So we face a fork going forward. Well, we could go left, we can go right, we can go down the middle. There is no choice that has no fire. Fire will be part of the landscape. In California, it will be part of the landscape in the Western United States. We can and we will resist fire. We will suppress and we will defend communities. We will wrap aluminum foil around trees. This worked. Though quite a few of the sequoia were saved when the fires hit giant sequoia. We can also accept fire. Back in the 70s, the National Park Service started allowing fires to burn through wilderness areas in Yosemite. Now each fire that comes in runs into the scar of the last fire, and the system has become self-regulating, and these fires don't escape and get out of control. But we can direct fire. We put it on the ground where we want it, when we want it, bringing more fire into these systems to manage the fuel loads and make them safer. So this framework of resist, accept, and direct was introduced by the National Park Service more broadly to think about how we deal with the challenges posed by climate change. And for any given resource manager, each of these has its place in different settings, and it's become a very powerful and simple way to actually think about the wide range of choices. These two photos are taken looking left and right in a park in the Sierra. And that forest on the left, with all that fuel and thick understory, through management and burning, can be transformed into that forest on the right. With patience, with persistence, we can restore forests to what we believe they looked like more than 200 years ago, with magnificent trees, widely spaced, resilient forests, and safer for our communities as well. Thank you very much.